Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the Artsy Amateur, and today I am so excited because I am finally starting my solar system series that I've been dreaming to do since I've started fluid art back in October. So just to give you a little bit of a background about me, I have two bachelor's degrees, one's in astronomy and one's in physics. So I have always been obsessed with the universe, how it works, just fascinated with galaxies and nebulas and all the things space related. So I wanted to start a solar system series where I'm going to do, for the first one, I'm going to do my first ever galaxy pour with a funnel. That's what we're doing today. And then I'm going to step through, going from the sun through the planets, adding some of the moons and satellites that are of interest to me, and then finally ending with another galaxy pour. So it's going to be a long series. Do me a favor and give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you would like to get notified on those upcoming videos. I think it's going to be really fun. It's inspired by, not an exact replica. And my plan is to, every time we do a pour, kind of give you some fun facts about what I'm inspired by. So for this first galaxy pour, I am picking the Milky Way galaxy, our home galaxy. It's a spiral galaxy, spiral bar galaxy. And as we go, I'll be giving you little facts about our Milky Way galaxy that we call home. So going over our colors and our paints that we're using. So I have a big cup of my base paint, and that is basically half ratio between, I have Payne's Gray and Prussian Blue, both from Liquitex Basics. So this is going to be a very, very dark blue. Right now it looks a little bit lighter because it's mixed with my pouring medium. My pouring medium for all of these is half Curate and half Australian Floetrol. So it has a nice medium thin consistency. It should flow pretty well. And we're working on, this whole entire series is going to be 12 by 12 inch level 3 gallery wrap canvases from Artist Loft. So for my galaxy pour though, I'm so excited. There's a lot of firsts for me in today's video, so I'm hoping it goes well. But I've never used a spinner before, and my method with the spinner, because I'm going to kind of do a galaxy in the middle, and with my funnel, my plan is to plop it and spin it as we go. So it creates a beautiful spiral pattern, but then try to spin it to stretch it because we want it to kind of spread out evenly. So we'll see how that goes. I've never tried it before, but I've seen many videos. I've been watching Left Brain Artist and Olga Sobey and all of the greats who have made galaxy pours before for inspiration. So all right, so that covers our base color. And then just going through these colors, I have Master's Touch Liquid Acrylic and Titanium White up front. I also have Master's Touch Liquid Acrylic Silver behind that. So those are kind of our bright pops of color that we're gonna have. Behind that one, I have Master's Touch in Pearlized Crystal Blue. Everything's Master's Touch today, except our base coat. And behind that, I have Master's Touch in Pearlized Violet. Notice how I'm picking all of the shiny, sparkly colors here. And then lastly, we have Pearlized Bright Gold from Master's Touch as well. And just to review my canvas, I have it taped and pinned on the back so it can help with the drying process. I might actually just leave it on this. I might just actually leave it on the spinner to dry. We'll see. But all right, to start out, I'm just gonna make sure this is kind of centered. I'm gonna start out by adding some of our base coat here. And then I am going to just spread it out with my palette knife. It doesn't have to be super important. I just want to be able to cover the canvas because what we're gonna be doing is we're going to be putting our funnel underneath this pocket of paint, and the funnel is going to push out the paint from underneath and out. So, and real quick while we're here, I'm just gonna cover my sides up a little bit. Since we're already right here, might as well add a little bit. Okay, now that we have our base coat down, I am going to add another puddle in the middle here, just so we have lots of paint to work with today. All right, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna mix these colors a little bit randomly. However, I am going to try to start with predominantly the darker colors on the outside with a little bit mix of the light colors, and then try to concentrate the very end of the colors to be the brightest, because that's going to be the center of our galaxy. So, all right, let's get started. So I am going to put this funnel in the middle here. Okay. And I know I just said that I'm going to start dark and work my way light, but I am going to pour just a tiny bit of white. Okay. Our purple, some blue. Let's do a little bit of silver now. Okay. And yellow. All right. Let's start plopping and spinning, huh? So I'm going to lift up. Beautiful. And I am going to put some base coat in between some of these. So base coat. And do some more purple. More blue. Some silver. Some base coat. Some yellow. All right. Now let's keep spinning. All right, it's turning out cool, but it's not coming out like I thought. Let's keep going though. I'm interested to see how this plays. Some white. Let's do some purple here. It's turning out pretty, but it's a little bit different than I thought, which is okay. All right, let's continue. All right, I know what's going on. My table is not level, so everything's kind of like freaking out here. So I'm just gonna try to level it again. Right, and then bring it back to center. All right. Okay, so not going as planned, but I'm going to keep on keeping on. So I'm going to put more of our base coat. I'm going to start with a big flip of that and just let that kind of percolate through this very bright thing I have going on right now. Right, that looked actually really cool. So let's continue on. I got some gold. I'm gonna do a little bit of purple. Back to dark. Maybe I'll just keep putting like layers of very dark in between all of these. All right, now I'm gonna, since we're getting a lot of paint, I'm gonna just focus on my bright colors in the center here. And then we're gonna call it good and stretch it out and see what we get. All right, so you can tell that my table is not centered, but this actually looks really cool. Ooh, it's like almost like black hole. Like, you know what? Here's fun fact. At the center of every galaxy is usually a supermassive black hole. So maybe we'll have that as kind of the as kind of the reason why it turned out like that. So, all right. Stretch it out just a tiny bit before we spin it. All right. And I'm gonna spin it gently because I don't have any protective stuff on here. So let's spin it and see. Little off kilter here. Put it back towards the center. Ooh, this is so beautiful though, my goodness. All right, one more spin and then I think we're good. Woo, okay, this is gorgeous. All right, let's give this a quick torch. Okay, so I wasn't super happy with it at the beginning, but I think it's beautiful right now. And I am gonna add a little bit of stars just to make it even that more magical. So let me grab my brush and start doing that now. All right, now let's add some stars. So I'm just gonna dip my brush here in some white paint. Get some of the majority off, and then let's add some stars, huh? Right? And maybe just a few more stars. There's a lot of stars in our galaxy. Fun fact, this is how many stars we estimate are in our Milky Way galaxy currently. Okay, I think that's enough stars for now. It definitely is galaxy inspired for sure. So I think I'm gonna add, I'm probably gonna regret this, but I want it to be just a tiny bit brighter in the center. I want it to kind of look like our Milky Way galaxy. So I am going to put in one little bit and then maybe spiral it around. All right, I'm calling that good. This is absolutely stunning. I am going to finish touching up my edges. I think they're actually really, really good. And bring the camera down for a close look of the wet reveal. All right, coming in for a close-up of the wet reveal. Look at these cells and lines. Oh my goodness. So this definitely is so pretty. I love how there's like a tiny bit of negative space on the corners. That's kind of cool. But the shimmer, I'm so excited to see how this dries because hopefully this is capturing it well. But that pearlized yellow, we have pearlized blue, pearlized violet, gold. Oh my gosh, it's going to dry so beautifully. So that's where I'll see you guys at the dried reveal. All right, dried results in 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so beautiful. And I told you it was going to dry amazingly because we have all of these shimmery, beautiful colors, all the metallic, the pearl colors. I love how this turned out. I wasn't sure how the purple was going to play because it was a little bit vibrant, but I'm glad it dried a little darker and the lines are just so beautiful. And then we got cells in here, and then I added, here's all my little stars that I added. And I love how it's definitely brighter in the center because that's how a real galaxy is, because there's more stars. All right, let me know what you guys think of this color combo, this technique. I'm so excited to try another galaxy pour at the end of the series, and I will tell you what that one's based on when we get there. Well, thank you guys so much for painting with me today. I hope you enjoyed going through this first galaxy pour experience with me. It turned out more beautiful than I thought it would. So I was freaking out a little bit at first, but everything worked itself out and I am so happy with the results. Stay tuned, give me a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. Next up is our beautiful sun inspired pour. So I'm thinking of using a swipe technique. I have some very exciting bright colors in mind, so would love to share that with you as well. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.